Welcome into another edition of Where the 99 Lead. I'm Andrew Joyce, joined by James Hurley, Vice President and President-elect of the University of Pikeville. Where the 99 Lead, of course, we talk all things regarding the University of Pikeville. Where the 99 Lead, of course, those historic 99 steps that lead to campus, most importantly, lead from campus back into the community, back into Pikeville, Pike County, Eastern Kentucky, Central Appalachia, and the rest of the world. James Hurley, Vice President, President-elect, the first alum of Pikeville to step into the president's seat. It must be quite an honor.
It is an honor. It's humbling, and it's bittersweet to have the opportunity to follow someone like Paul Patton,
Sure,
who, in my opinion, may go down as the greatest Kentuckian in our history for all his endeavors as county judge, as lieutenant governor, as patron to the communities all across this Commonwealth, and of course the University of Pikeville, and what he has been able to lead us through the past previous 4 years.
tough guy to follow, and I know he's still the president at the University of Pikeville. You'll take over that role in July, and of course we'll talk about that a little later. But this is the University of Pikeville's third straight record enrollment. Record numbers, large freshman class. Let's talk about some enrollment numbers. Where do they stand currently?
Well, as of Friday, we were 1,241 strong, which is another record enrollment. So
Sure.
Our goal, really, to be honest with you, Andrew, when Governor Patton and I took over some nearly 4 years ago to the date, we felt that if we could get to 1,200 by the year 2020, we were doing really, really
Wow.
good. And our goal by 2015 was to reach the 1,000 plateau. And of course, we've eclipsed that pretty quickly. It just adds a lot of excitement to the campus. Of course, the financial model, it's much more sustainable when you have enough seats, people in the seats, and heads in the bed, so to speak.
Sure.
Our dorm capacity is full. This classroom capacity is full. So it makes for a much more enjoyable experience, not only for the students, but for the faculty and staff and all those involved with the university.
There's a certain electricity on campus. Don't know if it's coincidence or not, but it seemed to arrive with Governor Patton.
Yeah, absolutely.
He brings a certain dynamic that you can't duplicate. Since that time, numbers have grown. It's growing. There's an excitement on campus again, and that's carried on to all different programs. We've talked about the new master's programs, a master's program still to come with sports management, extension campuses, the K4CS scholarships, a national basketball championship, now a women's bowling championship, and the football team's off to a great start as well. You talked about dorm space. What kind of challenge has that been for you, dorm space, classroom space, to find these spaces?
Well, we have strategically planned our growth around the number of beds. The number of beds versus the number of rooms is very much different, as you know.
Sure.
And the important factor is we had to consider 850 beds, and it's very hard to balance how many incoming freshmen plan on being residential versus non-residential. And so literally in March, I had to instruct Gary Justice and the admissions team to let off the gas. We were exceeding the number of applications that we could suffice.
Right.
So it has been a challenge. It's been a good challenge,
Sure.
but also an opportunity for us to look at future growth. I mean, our Board of Trustees is considering another dormitory, one in which we will probably have to build within the next year, 2 years, 3 years. And so that will create additional capacity. But it's not just about building the dorms. When we build the dorms, where are we going to educate the children?
Sure.
So now we have to build academic facilities. So it's good issues, but nonetheless, there are growing issues that we have to deal with.
Challenges and opportunities.
Challenges and opportunities. And we always say, Andrew, it's better than the alternative.
You betcha. Talking with James Hurley, Vice President and President-elect at the University of Pikeville on this edition of Where the 99 Lead. Record enrollment, large freshman classes. You talked about 1,200 was a number, that was a goal for 2020. Let me remind you, you're about 8 years early. What's so appealing about the University of Pikeville for students that we've seen these numbers grow?
Well, I think it boils down to the people. And as you know, and as I know, we're both Central Appalachians, and we're from the mountains. And I think a lot of students, you have to consider our demographics now, 39 states
Sure.
and 12 countries represented within that 1,200 student body. And so we're much more diverse. Our goal by the year 2015 is to have 125 international students. And it's not that we do not want to provide opportunities for our students in the mountains, but we want to enhance those opportunities for those students that do choose the University of Pikeville, because it is important for them to be able to experience how the rest of the world views us and how we view the rest of the world. So that is the total student experience is very important, and we really emphasize that. We truly care about the whole student, athletically, socially, academically. And we emphasize that we are family, and we're never going to be too large that we don't know your name and we don't know what your dreams and aspirations are, and try to help you achieve those.
There aren't many schools, colleges, universities to where a student can have lunch in the same room as the college president, to enter a building and have a class and walk by the president on your way to class. I've talked before, because I've talked with folks from many different departments at the university, athletic departments, yes, but also academics and student services. And you truly come away with, a lot of folks may say, we have a family atmosphere. At the University of Pikeville, it's just what it is. It feels like family.
It really is, and it starts at the top. It starts
Sure.
with Governor Patton and his open door policy. And I truly believe that every single one of our students on our campus believe that if they have an issue, they know they can go to Governor Patton or myself or
Sure.
any of the other vice presidents and have that problem addressed. And that's important. Governor Patton and I, 4 years ago, we set our goal on recruiting more students. And we knew that we had to recruit more parents also.
Right.
And so we had an open door policy. When one of our admissions counselors had a family on campus, we wanted to meet the family. We want to meet the students, and that's still true today. We want to meet every single family and every single student, prospective student. And that's not always possible with our travel schedules, but when we're there, they know that students are the most important. And our board chairman, Terry Dotson, and I, when we're meeting in my office, the rule is still intact, that when a prospective student and parent comes to the door, they have first priority. And that's the spirit of the university, from our board of trustees all the way down to our staff. It truly is a student-centered atmosphere.
As it should be. We talk about a family feel, we talk about athletics, we talk about student services, but what it's all about is college credits and working towards a bachelor's degree and now a master's degree with that program in place. Equally successful to the admissions process and growing substantially is the dual credit program. It's been a huge boost. It's recognized nationally. It's been used as a model for other programs. Let's talk about first what it is for those that don't know, and how it's evolved over the past 3 years, not just in the schools, but also now on campus as we see those students arrive.
Yeah, that's a great point. We're currently in 11 high schools across Kentucky, as far east, I guess, or central as Bourbon County High School. We're fortunate in the fact that the dual credit program is a program that allows a high school junior or senior to take credit at the high school that would transfer to the university, our university or any other university.
Sure.
And those classes are taught by the high school teachers that just so happen to have 18 hours in a specialty, for example, math or science. So in their specialty content area, they're truly specialized or highly certified teachers. And so we're able to grant the credit, and that credit goes with that student. Typically a student can garner anywhere from 18 to 29 hours. We have some students coming out of East Ridge High School with 29 college hours, literally going into their sophomore year. Saves the parents a ton of money because, again, you have nearly one year behind you entering that sophomore status or very close thereof. And so that allows the student to really start focusing on college, but also focusing on their career.
Sure.
Instead of now going to college and having to take all the basic classes to figure out what he or she wants to do, now they're much more focused with those 30 hours, and they've drilled down into a content area that they may be very interested in.
You're seeing those students who are gaining dual credit on high school campuses. Are those students coming to the University of Pikeville from that program?
Yes, we have a high yield rate of students that are coming. And of the 11 schools, 10 of the 11 are here in the heart of our service area: Pikeville Independent, East Ridge, Belfry, all of the Pike County schools. We have the dual credit program. Jenkins, I want to talk about Jenkins because I think they deserve some due credit. Their board of education voted to transport those students daily via the bus and pay for that out of their expense to bring the students here on campus because they did not have any highly certified teachers in their school. And so they saw the value of transporting those students every day, and those students, I think there's 12 of those students today. Jenkins is a very small high school.
Sure.
If they can do it, anybody can do it. And that just speaks volumes about their superintendent, their principal, and their board leadership there in that tiny town of Jenkins. And as you know, Andrew, Jenkins is not 10 minutes away. It's a 30 to 35-minute commute on that bus. So we're very fortunate and that we have partners in education like the Jenkins Independent, along with the other independent and county systems out across East Kentucky.
It's incredible, and it does make a huge difference to the parents because they're paying the bill. And you think about a student that could come to the University of Pikeville campus basically as a sophomore, out of high school, go through high school graduation. They've got 28 or so credit hours in pocket. They'll arrive on campus nearly a sophomore, and the financial savings to the parent plus the head start that student has towards a bachelor's degree. And that's what it's all about, changing the economy, changing the educational climate in Central Appalachia.
Well, and also you have to keep in mind that our transcript will transfer anywhere.
Right.
You know, 20 hours or 21 hours from the University of Pikeville, you can take anywhere. We had a young man in our dual credit program that is now at Harvard University, and his hours were transferable. And actually the application process at Harvard, or the committee I should say, they saw such value in the dual credit program that really helped that young man elevate his status with the Harvard committee. So it is a nationally recognized program. It's been nationally recognized in college-bound magazines and other publications, and we're very proud of that. Teresa Lockhart is the leader of that program. She does an outstanding job, and I think in the next few years we could add potentially 5 or 6 more schools.
Talking with James Hurley, Vice President and President-elect at the University of Pikeville on this edition of Where the 99 Lead. We talk all things regarding the University of Pikeville. Earlier this year, you've traveled to China. We've seen a delegation from China visit here, and you visited with administrators from other universities. Tom Hess, Dean of Undergraduate College, has been to China most recently. And
he's there now.
Let's talk about that visit and what new program the University of Pikeville is working on related to these visits to and from China.
Well, anyone that understands the climate of this world, and you can no longer speak in terms of just the United States, but you really have to think globally.
Sure.
China is the driver economically. And they're also affecting social trends as well, because when you have 1.3 billion people, socially they're going to afflict a lot of trends and set trend data, if you will. We were fortunate in being able to establish some partnerships early on when I was in China, and signed, I think, 15 MOUs with various agencies and universities in China, what I've found in my time in China is that their students are very much like our students. Their parents are very much like our parents. They want the very best for their child or grandchild. Now, one of the things that you have to keep in mind is China is currently operating under a one-child rule. And so what that equates to is, and the divorce rate in China is very, very, very low. So you have one child per set of parents. But also what you get, Andrew, is you now have both sets of grandparents that are investing all of their time, energy, and resources into that one grandchild.
Right.
And so they want the very best for that one child and one grandchild. And they very much value higher education in America. We still are regarded as, in the terms of higher education, the United States is the place to be. We're the land of opportunity, and we have tremendous academic freedom. And that's what students and parents covet.
Sure.
Our goal in all of this is not to bring more Chinese students to the University of Pikeville, which we will bring more, but we also want to give our students an opportunity to go to China and study their culture, study their economic system, study their governance, and to establish partnerships, business partnerships that are going to be sustainable and life-changing for our students in Appalachia, because a business major, for example, of any of the local businesses in Appalachia, there's a good chance that that product is made in Guangzhou, China.
Sure.
They produce 16% of all the world's staple goods.
Wow.
So it's very important that we learn to do business with China. The rest of the country is moving in that direction, and as the leading institution of Central Appalachia, the leading university, we want to be the driver to create opportunities for our students, faculty, and staff. And so we're establishing extension campuses. We've established an extension campus this week. We will have an announcement probably in the next 30 days of exactly where that location will be. We're finalizing the detail now, but we're excited. We will have.
I have a feeling that extension campus is not on US 23.
It's not on US 23, and it could be an ocean away, but we're excited. It gives our students a study abroad opportunity.
Sure.
And that's what I'm about, is enhancing our opportunities for our students to study abroad.
Also, what it could bring to the university campus here in Pikeville. We talk about where the 99 lead, to campus and from campus to the world. I think about the opportunities for, study abroad programs, but also think about if there are Chinese students who come to the University of Pikeville campus, what that would add to the student life on campus, the cultural benefits for all students that are on campus, being in class with someone from another culture, and changing the diversity for the students that are here in Pikeville.
And that will impact our region, maybe more than anything we can do, because it is truly about culture, it's about mindsets, it's about expanding opportunities. And again, the global impact of 1.3 billion people on a business is astronomical when you think about it. And so it's important that we, like you said, we provide these one-on-one opportunities for our students. We developed the ESL program, which is English as Second Language, and we're very excited about that program because that will be the avenue in which we can provide these opportunities. A lot of those students will come to America speaking decent English, but to raise that student to a level of proficiency will take a program such as an ESL program.
Sure. Adding new programs with ties and extension campuses abroad, where does the University of Pikeville go next?
Well, we talked about the master's degree in sports management that we have submitted to SACS, but we're also, our education program, Dr. Shirley Nelson, she is developing a prospectus for the master's in education, the new teacher leader program. And so we're very, very excited about that. We've been working on that for about 2 years. That's a little more complicated simply because you have several bodies outside of SACS that have to give that blessing, EPSB and also CPE. So that's a 3-tier system. It goes beyond just us and SACS.
Sure.
And so it's a little more convoluted. It takes more time. But what better way for the university to address a regional need than to address the needs of our teachers? And that's one of the largest areas of employment that we have in East Kentucky. And a lot of those students now are having to leave and go to Moorhead or Marshall or UK or EKU. Some of those are doing it online, but education can't be a 100% online master's degree in this day and age, in this climate, because of accreditations. So it's a need that we need to address, and we're working very hard to address.
This edition of Where the 99 Lead, we talk with James Hurley, Vice President and President-elect at the University of Pikeville. James Hurley, the first alum to hold that title as President-elect, and he'll take over that office next summer. And I know it's a very proud moment for you, and we'll talk more about that. Just a few weeks ago, we celebrated another opening, the Hoops Athletic Facility on the lower campus, and what a great facility it is, the Hoops Athletic Facility. Some say, well, it's just about the athletes, it's just about this program, that program. Let's talk about the facility, how it came to be, and what it means to students.
Well, obviously, because of our growth and the growth of our athletic programs, we were faced with some spatial issues. Our football team was trying to, I will use the word cram 150 students into a locker room that really was built to suffice the needs of maybe 80 to 85 student athletes. And so that was problematic in itself. And so we had to create a facility sizable enough for us to operate and sustain and really give our football team a place that they can call their own. And we needed a larger facility, and so we went out and we solicited some potential donors. I had a wonderful meeting. I invited Mr. Jeff Hoops onto campus, and he and I spent about 3 hours together. It was really the first time that I had spent ample time. I had met him at various events and just passing, but he came on campus. I took him on a tour, and I think he instantly fell in love with the university. Of course, he's just has a great mind for philanthropy and just a heart of giving. Sure. If you look at his record and what he does for the communities he's in. And he's a large coal operator here in Pike County, and he felt like he wanted to do something to give back to Pike County. Right. And so I offered an opportunity for him to give back to Pike County and to the University of Pikeville. Of course, he made a generous donation of $500,000 for the naming rights and to help build the building. It's about a $1.3 million building, just a phenomenal facility, indoor turf, but it's for all of our athletes. It's not just for football. The men's and women's basketball team, the men's and women's soccer, lacrosse will be in there starting Monday. And it also gave us some gender equity balance, because now we have a male locker room and a male weight room and a female weight room. Right. Very much needed. And those two groups of athletes lift differently, as you know, Andrew. Sure. And so that really helped us with Title IX issues.
Of course, the Hoops Athletic Facility, tremendous benefit. The football program off to a 2-0 start. You mentioned lacrosse, the newest sport at the University of Pikeville. They'll benefit as well. Indoor turf, not another facility like it in Eastern Kentucky.
Well, we were fortunate that we had, and you were at the event, Steve Baker, the commissioner of the Mid-South Conference, and after the event, he and I were spending some time together along with Mr. Hoops, and he said, I don't know that we have another university in our conference with a facility like this. Right. I mean, it's phenomenal what you guys are doing here. And again, that's not just for student athletes. I mean, it provides opportunities now for our faculty and staff. They have a place that they can come and lift in a good environment, a safe environment with new equipment. And that's important. We want to make sure that all of our students are safe. And this creates a safe environment, a safe haven for our students to escape to.
Talking about the Hoops Athletic Facility, Jeff Hoops, of course, he's a guy who's friends of coal. Yep. He makes his living in the coal industry, and he's a Central Appalachian guy. He understands the mountains, and that's so important to anyone we talk with.
He's very much like Paul Patton and Walter May and just so many individuals that have been tremendously successful. They could have chosen to go somewhere else. They could choose at this current time to uproot their families and take them anywhere in the world, because they could afford to live in a lot of other places outside of Appalachia. Sure. But I visited with Jeff at his headquarters in tiny Milton, West Virginia.
Yes.
And I would challenge how many of our viewers know where Milton, West Virginia is.
Right.
It's a very small town, much like Elkhorn City or Phelps or even Belfry, one of our small communities here in Pike County outside of Huntington, West Virginia. Had a wonderful time with him, and he gets it. He understands who we are. He understands our needs, but he cares about these kids. He cares about East Kentucky. And he cares about sustainability. He knows that that building will have to suffice our needs for many, many years to come. And that's why he made a tremendous sacrifice.
No way he gets it. He's one of us.
That's exactly right.
He's one of us. He's part of Central Appalachia.
That's right.
You're tuned to Where the 99 Lead. We talked with James Hurley, Vice President and President-elect at the University of Pikeville. And we talk about the Hoops Athletic Facility. We've talked earlier about dorms, new construction, of course the Cole building. That dedication coming up September 15th, and we encourage people to be there. But I've heard some news recently about another new addition, and that being the Scholar House. If you could, tell us more about the Scholar House, what it is, what it means, where is it?
Very, very excited about the new initiative. The Scholar House initiative, originally founded and created in Louisville, Kentucky. Governor Patton and I went up, 3 years ago, and visited a facility. Dr. Ramsey, the president at the University of Louisville, and I are very close, along with Paul. Of course, he worked for Governor Patton. He invited us up to look at this Scholar House initiative that he was so excited about, and how it was making a difference in the lives of young, especially young women that quite frankly made a mistake, ended up single moms, and there's a couple single dads, but it's mostly single moms in the mix that really want to pursue and finish their education in higher ed. This Scholar House initiative is created it's 42 beds. It will be based across from Hardee's, and I don't know, you probably know the streets better than I do, but we're very excited. We have purchased that property from the city and the county, meaning both Judge Rutherford and Donovan Blackburn, along with Mayor Justice. It has been a phenomenal team effort with bringing all the constituents together to make this happen. We're excited. It's, again, 42 beds, so 42 single moms will be able to complete their degree, a safe haven for those moms to raise their children. It will have a child care facility inside that we will work with our elementary education department and coincide with this initiative. And what better group of people to train young people than your future teachers?
Sure.
And so we're very, very excited. Of course, more detail will come, but Kay Hammonds, just so many good people are on this board. It's just truly exciting.
I believe that's the intersection of Kentucky Avenue and maybe South Auxshire Street for the Scholar House, and it's a very up-to-date building. Yeah,
it's going to be phenomenal. It will be a brand new facility, state-of-the-art, and it will quickly become, again, another model for the rest of the country to look at what you can do in rural America and the success stories that will come thereof.
Little old Pikeville, Kentucky.
Amazing.
Formerly Pikeville College, now the University of Pikeville, and this community, this university continues to amaze me. Record numbers. James Hurley, Vice President, President-elect at the University of Pikeville. We've got just a moment to go, but the football team off to a great start. Record enrollment. It's a great time to be a Bear and a great time to be on campus at the university. A final comment.
It is a great time to be a Bear, and we certainly appreciate Pike TV. This is another avenue. My father and mother now can watch you and I chat online, and you know, I've had so many emails and phone calls from parents in Florida and California. I had a mom that left me a message just this weekend thanking me for the opportunity, and I had absolutely nothing to do with it. It was all you guys, but the opportunity that she can now watch her son play football via online because of the work that you and Al and all the folks at Pike TV are doing. So we appreciate your efforts.
It's a great partnership. James Hurley, Vice President, President-elect at the University of Pikeville. We'll look forward to talking with you again soon.
Thanks.
You've been tuned to Where the 99 Lead. Our guest today, James Hurley, Vice President, President-elect at the University of Pikeville. Where the 99 Lead, a presentation of the University of Pikeville, the leading university of Central Appalachia.